I want to have that conversation today, that awkward conversation about why the fuck it's so lonely at the moment. Where is everyone, man? What am I supposed to do with my life if this all falls through? Is this eclipse happening today, the end of the world? But seriously, I thought it would be good to have a little chat about, how I'm approaching this quiet spell of tattooing. And if it's even just a quiet spell, what if it's a permanent thing? What do you do moving forward from this? Over the last, I've mentioned it in a few videos before, but over the last year, maybe two, things have started to get a bit quiet. And when I mean a bit quiet, like, as an example, around 3 years ago, I used to book 2 months ahead every time. I used to open my diary, let's say example, I used to open my diary on the 1st of February to then book for April and May. So I'd be booking 2 months ahead for 2 months, okay? I used to open my diary, 12 o'clock, and I was very strict about that. I started having to be strict because people were taking the mick. I'd open it at 12 o'clock a.m. 12 a.m. in the morning, I'd fill up 2 months. Now, I don't even close my diary because last time I did it, 4 appointments booked, 4 appointments. And in my head, for a long time, I was like, fuck, what am I doing wrong? I think a few times I blamed it on Instagram, I blamed it all over the place. Realistically, I have not got a clue why, but I can think of a few things. I think everything is a little bit more expensive at the moment, and tattooing is a luxury. So, what do you do when everything's more important? You prioritize the important stuff and leave the luxuries on the back burner until you can afford it. And at the moment, there is no until you can afford it. You just can't. You either can or you can't. People's money is going on what they consider more important things and what are considered more important things. But then we're in this kind of job where everything else is putting its prices up to deal with the world. Like the price of everything is going up. Your rent, your bills, the food you buy, the things you buy is going up, but we're not in a business where we can necessarily put our prices up, because unless you're like massive and you've got years and years of waiting anyway, so you're covered still, tattooing isn't in demand. So there won't ever be a backlog from now going forward. If you're an artist who had like a big yearly waiting list anyway, then yeah, you're in demand. So you probably won't notice the pinch as much. You might notice that the amount of bookings you take are going down, and it might be slower to fill up the time you had, but overall, you're gonna be as busy as you were before, because let's face it, if you've got a year's worth of bookings ahead, then yeah, I doubt that's gonna go down by much. So what could it be? What the fuck could it be? There's a few things it could be. I mean, yeah, it could be Instagram. It could be the fact that the algorithm's playing up and people aren't getting out there as much. Because I do notice a few times I'll post about space, and then I'll message with someone, I'll have someone message saying, oh, I didn't realise you had space. And it's like, man, I've been posting about space for weeks. So obviously they're not seeing my posts like they used to. And now it takes more of an effort from the other end, the follower, the clientele, to change their options to what they allow to see more of your posts. So yeah, it could be that. It could be that tattooing was just more popular than it is now. Maybe not having tattoos is becoming something, which is kind of scary. But it doesn't mean that people are going to be out. It just means that you're more likely to just get the enthusiasts in than the first timers looking for a big piece. I've also noticed that unless you're getting like a back piece or something like that, it's more popular to get smaller tattoos. Get tattooed more frequently, but with smaller tattoos. I follow a lot of people on my Instagram. I try and just keep my Instagram to just tattooists. So if I want to not see tattoos, I go on my personal one where I don't follow any tattooists. Because sometimes, obviously, it's my job, man. I get sick of this shit. I don't want to see tattooists all the time. I want to see other art. I want to see photography. I want to see videography. I want to see 3D work. I want to see everything else that I'm into. So yeah, I have my personal Instagram where I don't really have any tattooists on, and then unless they're friends, and then my professional Instagram where I'll just follow the tattooists. And because I'm following loads of tattooists, I see big work all the time. But you're out in public and you're walking around, or you know, you kind of look at the general day-to-day tattooing and not your specialist tattoo artists, you'll notice that there is more of a desire to get smaller tattoos, at least in this country. And that's just what I've seen. I might be wrong, I probably am wrong, but that's how I'm seeing things. And when I say smaller, I don't mean like, this is smaller in a tattooist's point of view. I mean smaller as in palm size tattoos, collection pieces, pieces in between pieces, you know. And I'm noticing that that's more of a thing. So it could be that. And it could just be the money. Who knows? Man, there's so many different things. And what can you do about it? What can you do about it? What have I done about it? Well, I don't fucking know. I'm trying all sorts of different stuff. I'm definitely being more business-minded at the moment, in the fact that, you know, I've made a booking form, I've got a mailing list, an email mailing list. I've now got the blue tick on Instagram, which I swore I'd never fucking do because I didn't want another subscription, but I got told by a few people that it was worth it, so I'm giving it a try. And not only that, but I had the scares the other week that someone had hacked and just wiped my Instagram, so I thought, at least with a blue tick, you're kind of guaranteed not going to lose it. As much as you're giving in to the system, and I hate that shit. Maybe it's worth it, fuck it. You know, it's business at the end of the day. You do what you need to do for business. So yeah, there's a lot of things it could be. I'm trying to battle it myself, but I don't really know. Like, I'm scared, man. I get like less than a quarter of the appointments I used to get. And you do end up beating yourself up. What can I do? Why do people hate my work? Am I not as good as I was? Am I shit now? Is my work cack? What the fuck do I do? So yeah, it's hard, man. I'm trying to think of ways. And another way is adapting my style to suit more of a general audience. So not changing my style, but adapting. By adapting, what do I mean? I mean like making smaller versions of what I used to draw. So what I'm trying to do at the moment is draw something that can easily get done in half a day and give people the option of smaller tattoos, or I see a lot of people putting their prices down at the moment. That's not something I fully agree with, because personally I don't give out my prices until the time I book, and pricing's a difficult one. Like, how do you know what you're worth? You don't. It's difficult. It's hard. Yeah, that one I'm not sure about. But I don't post my prices anyway, and I don't have anyone ever message me for tattooing and say, oh, that's too expensive. I think I've had it once in the last couple of years. Oh, that's too expensive, I'm not gonna do it. Or discounts, and I do put out a lot of discounts. I say to a lot of people, my pre-drawn flash is discounted, always. But no one bites the pre-drawn flash. The only time the pre-drawn flash gets sent to me is if they're sending me the flash as reference for something they'd like to get done. So yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult one. It's hard at the moment. You just got to try what you got to try. And this video was no solution to your problems. This video was me just having a fucking conversation. You got any good ideas or what you're doing? Maybe share it down below and help some of the others that are watching this confused at why they're so quiet. You know, it could be nothing. It could be a conspiracy from the government. They're trying to stop people getting tattooed because it doesn't fit in with their agenda. I mean, I doubt it is. It's probably just one of them times. Everything's a bit quiet. And anyway, maybe we took it for granted before. Everyone wanted tattoos. It was a busy thing. Now the market is very oversaturated. And maybe it's just not as popular as it once was. So just have to work a bit harder to get them in. And if that means you feel like you're spamming people, then spam away, because they don't need to follow you. So if they see that shit coming up in your account and it annoys them, and you know what's funny is the stuff that I think annoys people probably don't give a shit about. So I just need to remember that personally, and maybe you guys do too, if you're stuck and feeling the same way that I do. Anyway, fuck yeah, thanks for watching, listening to my little rant. Sorry I didn't put a video up last week. I had my kids on Easter, so I was doing some fun shit with them. If you'd like to support, as always, please join my Patreon. And yeah, man, this YouTube's going good, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really thankful for everyone who's got on here, watched, left a comment, like, subscribe, join the Patreon, anything. But you can join for as little as £1, £5 if you want some early access shit. And when it starts picking up, I'll add some more stuff on there. At the moment, like, I'm trying to build it up a little bit more so it's worthwhile to make some other stuff to put on there. because I'm doing all the stuff for like little to no pay at the moment. So, you know, I've got to find time to do it amongst the paying stuff, especially at the moment while I'm struggling to get working with the toes, you know what I mean? Anyway, love you loads. Got some new t-shirts as well in the store down below. I'll post them on screen. A little picture of Yaz wearing one while she was tattooing I took today. And yeah, goodbye.